Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Topper, where we discuss important topics for incoming students. Today is an exciting episode because it covers a topic I personally cannot speak highly enough of, and that is our Study Abroad program. So stay tuned as we speak with Study Abroad advisor Krista Erickson and Maggie Sullivan, an international affairs student. Krista, Maggie, thank you guys both for being here. Yay, I'm so excited to talk about study abroad. I always tell students it was my favorite experience when I was a student, so I always recommend to students to study abroad. So I'm really excited to talk about this today. So the first question that we always get asked in our office is, can anyone study abroad, or is it reserved just for specific students?
No, anyone can study abroad. It's open to all students that meet the minimum requirements. We support each student through the process of meeting their budgetary, academic, and professional goals, and we just ask that students come by our office early to get an early start on planning.
Yeah, awesome. And Maggie, as a student representative, I'm assuming you've had some study abroad experience yourself as well?
Yes, I spent a semester in Morocco, the second semester of my sophomore year.
Okay, very cool. How was that experience? Was it like eye-opening?
Awesome. Yes, I'd been abroad once before, briefly, but that was kind of my first experience.
Just like a family
jumped
vacation.
Right in.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was able to study language, and I was able to study classes for both my major and my minor.
Okay.
And actually studying abroad kind of helped me understand what I wanted to study as well. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you went to Morocco, and where can students study abroad? Do we only have specific programs, specific countries? Where do we go?
So between our faculty-led exchange partners and provider programs, we offer programs in over 40 different countries. Last year we sent over 500 students abroad to those 40 different countries.
Wow.
And so more importantly than location, though, we really try and work with the student to find a program that fits their academic need.
Yeah, I've heard people say that we go to every single continent except for Antarctica.
Yeah.
And I'm sure every student's like, I really want to go to Antarctica, so, you know, maybe we should go. I'm just kidding. No one wants to go there. Okay, so now, when you went to Morocco, how long did you go for?
For about 4 months overall, so a full semester.
For a full semester? Wow.
Yeah.
Was that like crazy to be away from your family and your friends?
It was. It was the longest I was away from my family, but it was really exciting. I stayed with the host family while I was there, so
that's nice.
I had a host mother, host father, and siblings, so that was a really good way to adjust. And I was with the other American students and made a lot of friends that way as well.
That's awesome. And now, are all programs just 1 semester long, or do we have kind of a variety of lengths of trips?
So through our different program providers and different methods of going abroad, we have programs ranging from 10 days to a full academic year.
Okay, wow, that's awesome. When I went, I only got to go for a week, and honestly, it was like the best week of my. I went to Paris and I ate bread the entire time. It was fantastic, but I wish that I would have went longer. Sometimes for students, a week's only the time that they can go, but yeah, it was really fantastic. So now, let's talk about price, because that's something that a lot of students are worried about. They don't think that they have availability to go because of the price. I mean, do we offer scholarships for students and financial help with that?
So that is one of the most important considerations when choosing a program. We have a range of affordable options. Of course, we work with students and tell them to come into our office early to start the planning process so that they can figure out which scholarships are going to be applicable to them, work with financial assistance, and of course the Office of Scholar Development.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. Well, that's good to know that we have support to help those financial needs going to different countries. Awesome. Another question that we most commonly get asked is, do the students need to speak the language of the country that they're going to? Is it a mandate, like, so if I were to go to France, do I need to speak French?
No, you don't need to speak a foreign language to study abroad. Actually, a lot of our programs offer courses in English, but we do encourage students to study the foreign language of the host country that they're in, just because they're going to get a better understanding of the country's culture.
Yeah, and I know that you knew a little bit of the language when you went to Morocco. So
yes, so Morocco speaks French and Arabic, so I had a little bit of a French background going in, which proved very helpful, but my content classes were in English, but I also took the chance to study Arabic while I was there, which was really exciting, and I was able to continue that study here on campus. And it's been really useful for professional development and a lot of different things as well.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of students who they have foreign language as their major. They obviously study abroad to further that language and to have that experience. Because there's nothing like being in the country to learn that language, for sure. When I went to Paris, I knew a little bit of French, but I only knew how to say, "Can I have a hot ham and cheese sandwich?" And I feel like that's all you need to know on a vacation or on a trip. So I think I did pretty well there. Now, a really important consideration, especially if you're going for a semester-long trip or a year-long trip, is graduation. And so does this affect graduating in 4 years at all for these students that study abroad?
With careful and advanced planning, it shouldn't affect your ability to graduate in 4 years. We definitely recommend that you meet with your academic advisor to determine when is the best time for you to go abroad. If you know that you're going to be in a major where there's a strict schedule, though, like your last 2 years at WKU, we would recommend going abroad either your first 2 years or during a summer or winter term.
Yeah, absolutely. And then that first semester that those students go, do you guys have like events on campus to help students kind of that first semester to kind of learn about the program?
We have a study abroad fair every semester. We also have the opportunity for students to be able to walk into our office during walk-in peer advising. And they can always just make an appointment with one of the advisors. So
your first semester is not too early?
No.
Yeah, it's actually recommended. Okay, good to know. So the next common question that we get, and it's more of a general sense, I think everybody's experience is probably a little bit different, but for you too as well, for getting that experience, what are the general benefits of studying abroad?
Besides being able to make friends from all over around the world, working on your personal development, and of course gaining a global perspective, it's a really great way to earn like hands-on experience through research abroad, an internship, or even student teaching abroad, and really work on those skills that employers are looking for, so like adaptability and intercultural communication.
Absolutely. And did you have any sort of like internship or research experience when you were in Morocco?
I didn't do that while I was abroad, but a lot of the people on my program did. So they had service learning opportunities to teach at, for example, the local women's center or to volunteer at the health clinic. So a lot of opportunities. And I personally benefited a lot from it professionally. I was able to go on and get internships with the State Department after I studied abroad because of my experience in Morocco. And of course, a lot of personal development. You kind of grow into the person you want to be.
Absolutely. So another common question, and usually I don't hear this from students, but I definitely hear this from parents, and it is a serious question to consider, and that's the safety of traveling abroad, especially for a lot of these students. This is their first time leaving home. You know, what do we have in place to sort of ensure safety for our students while they're abroad?
Yeah, I mean, student safety is our #1 priority, and studying abroad is about as safe as studying in the U.S. We understand there might be risk associated with going to unfamiliar locations, and so we have a required pre-departure orientation that all students are required to attend, where we go over the associated health and safety risks and what you can do to ensure your safety abroad. We also encourage students to enroll in the U.S. Department of State's Smart and Traveler Enrollment Program.
That's a mouthful.
And so they can receive notifications and alerts of what's going on in their host country while they're abroad.
Gotcha. Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, well, I'm glad to know that, you know, we have those systems in place to ensure their safety, because that absolutely is important. Now, how, if a student is, obviously we talked a little bit before about going to those fairs, going to meet with you guys. I mean, is that sort of your general recommendation for a student that wants to study abroad? You know, what are those steps to put in place? So obviously, instead going to the fairs, what would they do if they came to your office? How would that meeting go for those students?
Yeah, so the first thing I always recommend students, even before they come in our office, is to check out our website at wku.edu/studyabroad. We have a Find My Program tool, which allows you to kind of look at all the programs we offer. So I just kind of shop around and look at things that interest me. But we also recommend that students come into our office and speak to our study abroad student representatives. We have peer advising every day of the week. And we sit down with them and talk to them about what they're interested in, where they want their study abroad experience to take them. Even if they're at step 1 and have no idea what study abroad is, we'll work with them.
That's awesome. So it's super easy to sort of at least figure it out.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you guys could be here today and to answer these questions. Like I said before, it's just like the coolest program ever. So I'm super happy that students can learn more about it. So thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
If you have further questions regarding study abroad and global learning, please feel free to reach out to their office at the contact information below. You can also check out their website to learn more about the places you can go and the scholarships to apply for. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Let's Talk Topper.